Hey guys, so I was going to take a break from YouTube for this week, and I kind of technically am. This is just a quick video, or at least I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. This video is about n.SSign again, mainly because I had a conversation with a viewer who I feel may have mistaken my intentions, and possibly it could also be because I didn't really state many positive things about n.SSign. Like, I was trying to say, hey, this is hypothetically what could be happening. Maybe, possibly, this is what led to it. I'm not sure if, yada, 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 A, B, C, and D, E, F, G. But I don't quite recall if I ever really said that I don't want them to disband. I don't want people to think, just because I didn't say that I don't want them to disband, that doesn't mean that I want them to disband. I don't want them to disband, okay? I don't want any K-pop group to disband. If they're having a hard time, I want them to work through it and become closer as a group. I never wanted n.SSign to disband, ever, okay? So just to clarify that point, because some people might think that, oh, you just want them to disband. You don't know the whole story, this, that, and the other. I've said this in the live stream and I'll say it again. The news broke out June 13th. So it was an entire month that I didn't know about this. And then when I finally found out about it, it was a month after. It was this month, July. And I looked into it, put a script together, and I talked about it, right? I talked about the news. On July 12th is when I uploaded the video. So an entire month passed by and no new news came out within a month's time span. So, whatever information is out there as to the actual details, I did not find any of that. So I reported on what I did see, what I did find, because I was looking. It ain't like I wasn't looking, I was looking, but I didn't find anything like that. I said in the live stream I wasn't going to make a video addressing any of this stuff because I felt like it would be disrespectful to the conversation that the viewer and I already had about this situation. However, for those who didn't watch the live stream, which, my live streams don't really get a lot of views and all that stuff, so people are less likely to see the live stream, I said, what, I'm just going to talk about it a little bit in the video and just leave it there. So I just want to set the record straight. The only thing I feel like I could have did better was put a disclaimer at the beginning stating that, hey, I'm going to get into some speculation stuff. Don't take my speculations as fact. Take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know exactly how the members are doing. What's the conflict, if there is a conflict? So maybe I could have put a disclaimer there. A lot of things in the video are going to be my opinion, blah, 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 that sort of thing. I probably should have did that so that people wouldn't be confused about me stating my speculations. What I know I didn't do was state my speculations as fact. I never do that unless it's actually a fact. I always say, listen, I believe, I think, I'm not sure, but maybe this happened hypothetically. Here's another scenario. I use words like that to indicate that something is speculation. I'm not going to constantly keep saying it's speculation all the time. The word speculation, I'm not going to use it all the time. What I will do is say, maybe this happened. Could it be that this happened? Possibly, maybe this happened. This, and this. I believe that people kind of already know what I mean when I'm saying speculation. I'm not putting out any factual information other than the news that is already presented. And I know that there's some news outlets that have sometimes faulty information or don't have the complete story. I know that. So I look outside of those to find a complete story. If I can find the main source of the situation, like if it's on Twitter or X Twitter, whatever you want to call it, TikTok, I'll try to find the main source. This app, however, I don't think I can actually do that, because apparently the rule for this app that Eddie made his post on and commented on, there's a rule that says you're not supposed to take any of that information outside of the app. However, there's no countermeasure built within the app to prevent people from screen recording or screen capturing what's said. So that's a problem. Now, they do have a thing where you have to agree to the terms in order to, I guess, engage, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know if that will do much to help the app know who's who in terms of who leaked the information, who screen recorded, because like I said, If you don't have the power to prevent screen recordings, then you might want to work on that, because it's not easy to manage something like that, especially with umpteen different conversations going on one app, and there's K-pop idols using it. Now, that's a fault of the app and how the app functions. Hopefully they can fix it to where people can't screen capture, if that's the case and someone did screen capture it. Now, I came at the news with the attitude of perhaps Eddie wanted this out there, right? Perhaps Eddie wanted this out there, because why on earth would you talk to the fans? Now, hear me out, guys. Hear me out. I came at this news with the mindset of he might have wanted this out there and didn't care who screen captured it or whatever the case. I was informed, and I don't know how true this is because I don't know where they got this information from, and I probably should have asked them, where did they get their information from? I don't state people's intentions as absolute, this is what they did and this is why they did it, unless I'm absolutely sure. But the viewer had stated with a level of assurance that Eddie had this conversation with a fan or fans or whatever because he trusted them. Okay, that's what the viewer told me, that he trusted the fans and that's why he said it. I don't know that he trusted them. I don't even think that he was thinking. To be honest, I don't believe he was thinking clearly at all. I don't know if he has a history of revealing information and talking about stuff with fans that he probably shouldn't be talking about, because this is the first instance where it actually has relevance and significance. So I don't know for certain if he talks to the fans like this all the time. Don't know that. All I know is that this instance happened, this one instance. I'm not trying to create an entire retrospective essay or something on everything that has been talked about in that From app between Eddie and the fans. It's not my thing, right? If it's a bigger story and we're trying to dive deep into it and I'm trying to do like a real investigative journalism type thing, maybe. But that was not the goal for this video. Not that y'all need me to tell you this, but I'm just saying that wasn't the goal for this video at all. The goal was to highlight a potential problem within K-pop groups who either, and I didn't bring this up, I probably should have highlighted this more, but highlighting a potential problem with K-pop groups that are established by survival shows, and then you have more members added to the group who are not a part of the group initially, the original lineup. And so now you have K-pop idols getting hot and bothered by it. Maybe their attitude towards the new members are different from how they are towards the original members, you know, infighting. I'm not saying that that's what's happening with this group. I'm just saying that there are cases where this can happen and have happened. So that's not misinformation, guys. I'm just putting it out there that this could be a thing. This could be a problem. Okay. But my ultimate point is that I honestly hope that they can get it together and become a family, become a brotherhood, become a team, because there's nothing worse than working with a team that doesn't treat the team like the team, right? There's nothing worse than members not treating each other like members. There are idol groups that treat each other in the group like coworkers, right? We're just doing this for business. It's all business, nothing personal. We don't have a outside relation with anybody in the group or whatever. And that's the case sometimes. But I think when you are an idol, at least this is my personal feeling, there needs to be a camaraderie. There needs to be something deeper than just business. It has to be something that holds the group together, something that pulls a K-pop group together in a way where you can see just how synergistic the union of this group is. Not just in choreography, not just in singing, not just in performing, but in their personal relationships with each other. Okay. And I'm not saying this to be like you need to be able to have a good relationship with each other so you can sell the fantasy. No, I don't give a crap about selling the fantasy. I want you guys to be cool with each other off screen, off camera, off set, whatever, off stage, so that when you come together on stage, it is genuine. I don't want idols to sell a fantasy of, well, we're friends. No, I want it to be real. I want it to be real. I think a lot of people agree with me on that we want the relationship between the members to be real as what we see on stage. That's not always the case, but we want that. We want that for our members, for our groups, right? So let me just clear the air so that people can not assume that I want the absolute worst for this group. I did state in my last video that if they are having problems, I didn't say it exactly like this, but this is what I really was trying to say. If what I'm assuming or hypothesizing is true, and based on what Eddie said, that we are not a family, we are not friends or anything, based on what he said, if he's implying that the entire group is like this to each other, and it's not just Eddie's personal feelings, then what should happen is I'm hoping that they come together, they find what's going on, they find the root of the problem, they uproot it, they come together, and they become more than just a team, but a unit of brothers, of friends who actually want to be in each other's space, who actually do more than just tolerate each other's presence, but instead appreciate each other's presence. And not only that, but value each person within the group as not just an asset, but as someone that they could consider to be a loved one. That's what I want. I think we all can agree with that. Now, what I wish I had said was if, and I didn't, but I'm gonna fix it here. If they cannot get past whatever it is that they're going through, if they are having a hard time with each other, if there's fighting constantly, they can't overcome their feelings of whatever it is that they're feeling, anger or frustration or whatever the case, towards each other. If that's what's happening and they just can't do it, then they should disband. That's what I was trying to say. Then they should disband if that's the case. And of course, like I said, I do also feel like it might be the company's fault too, because they're overworking these people, and companies tend to do this. Okay. And I don't want people to misunderstand my intentions here. I'm making it very clear. And I feel like I really do have to make this video. I really do, because people are like, don't talk about things if you don't know all the details and this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, you guys don't know all the details either. The viewer that commented, the first thing that they asked me, that they stated, was the question, do you know Eddie? Did you talk to him in confidence? Did you guys have a conversation? And I'm just like, okay, are you saying that I have to know these people and have an interview with them in order to report on this? Because you know that's not how this works. And I don't know if I said this already, but I find it very odd and interesting, rather, that when I say what I speculate might have happened, someone will take it as me stating an absolute when I'm saying this might have been what happened. The viewer told me this is why the fan screen recorded or screen captured what was said and leaked it out to everyone. So they were speaking to the intentions of both Eddie and the fan in absolutes. I don't know how they know that. Honestly, I don't think that Eddie was in his right mind when he was talking. That's why he was just saying stuff and didn't care. That's what I think. That's what I think. But I'm not saying that that's absolutely, definitely what happened. So there's a difference in tone between what I'm saying and what the fan is saying. I don't know where they got this information from and how they know. I could easily have asked the same question that they asked me. Did you talk to Eddie and get that information from Eddie? Did Eddie tell you that he felt comfortable with the fans and that's why he said it? Like, I didn't go there because I was trying to be understanding, but at the same time, it's very disingenuous to ask me that question, especially when I'm saying this might have happened, this could have happened, maybe this, possibly that. I'm not saying, oh yeah, this happened because Eddie was comfortable with the fans and the fan leaked the information because they were concerned. I don't know that. So there's something exclusive about what this viewer is saying that, to my knowledge, only they and maybe people who are fans of the group would know. So I felt like this is kind of a biased statement if you don't have any factual information to back up what you're saying about the intentions of the fan and Eddie as to why they did what they did. But again, I'm trying to be understanding. So, and I'll be very clear right here and right now. I am a 33-year-old American who lives in America. When K-pop idols come to America, I don't have the money to travel to another state in America to go see them, let alone pay for the tickets. So no, I'm not going to be able to meet them in any point in time unless I actually just have it like that. And I don't got it like that. Be very honest with you. I ain't got it like that. I'm not rich. And I'm not saying that you got to be rich to do it, but you really do have to have some kind of money to do it, especially if it's not in your state. I got to, pay for an Airbnb and all that stuff. So no, I can't go see them. That's just meeting them. Let's go further. Let's talk about talking to them. No way in God's green earth I'm going to have the opportunity to talk privately, one-on-one, with either an individual in the group or the entire group as a whole. No way. That's not going to happen unless my YouTube channel blows up to the point where I can actually have interviews with K-pop idols, which there's not a lot of YouTube channels that can do that, especially not in America. So that kind of outrules me on that one too. So no, it's like saying that you shouldn't report on the Minhee Jin thing unless you've spoken to Minhee Jin personally and they've talked to you about stuff. I've reported on CBX before, and I plan on talking about CBX again. Should I try to contact CBX through whatever agency, Baekhyun's agency or SM? Well, not SM obviously because they're filed a lawsuit against SM before, but should I try to find CBX and talk to them and have a meeting? Do I need to do that in order to report on the news about CBX? Do I need to do that? No. I'm not sure where people are finding the misinformation in what I said. And I'm not saying that everybody's finding misinformation, just the people to whom it concerns. I know that the Japanese fan base is the biggest fan base for n.SSign. And so maybe the Japanese people have a bigger problem with the last video that I made about n.SSign because I reported on it at all. It's like I crossed the line by talking about it at all, because talking about it at all can spread misinformation, even though I think we can safely say the messages that Eddie sent on the From app are real. The app that he used to send the messages is also real. The feelings that he conveyed within those messages are also real. Whether or not he wanted it out there, I don't know. And honestly, a lot of people don't know. Besides me, we don't know. I don't know what his intentions were. All I know is that it's out there and it's common knowledge at this point. So if I can't report on common knowledge, especially a month after it came out, I don't know what to tell you guys. But I reported on it. I gave my honest thoughts. I didn't cross any boundaries or any lines. Maybe I should have given a disclaimer at the beginning so that you guys can know that there are speculations ahead. But one thing I will say I didn't do is that I absolutely did not state my personal thoughts and opinions on the situation as fact. That is the spreading of misinformation. One of my viewers on my live stream that I had last week I don't know if they noticed they did it, but they gave me a really good example of spreading misinformation. Not that they spread information, but they said that someone had stated that BTS planned on breaking up after they got out of the military. That's misinformation, because you're not saying that you think or you speculate or perhaps they'll break up. In fact, it's a total lie. There's no way you can even get around this. And the reason why I say that is because BTS has never stated that they were going to disband after they got out of the military. I don't know where you got that from. There was not even a sign or an inkling of hint that BTS was going to break up. So where are you getting this from? That's number one. Number two, they renewed their contracts before they went into the military. So they're good until 2027. So I don't know where you're getting this from. But that's clearly misinformation. But what I did was I gave my thoughts, speculations, possibly, maybe, or perhaps this happens, perhaps that happened. And we know that in K-pop this happens, so I don't know if that's the case or not. I said that a lot. And I want to give people more credit, like cognitively. I feel like everyone that watched the video, at least to my knowledge, is competent enough to understand the difference between me saying I think this might have happened, or perhaps this happened, or maybe this happened, and know that it's not me stating my opinions as absolutes. It's when you state your opinions as absolutes and you say this is what happened, that's when it becomes misinformation. And I didn't do that in this video. So yeah, in the future I'll try to improve, of course, what I feel like I was lacking in, which honestly what I feel like I was lacking in this news has nothing to do with what some people are saying I did. My intentions for the last video was not to bash n.SSign. It was not to say, oh, they're just a horrible group and they're not doing well, they need to just disband. It's not what I did. Not what I did at all. But I will say this, if Eddie feels like he's done and he doesn't want to come back to the group, and if he feels like for his mental health, the best way for him to recover properly is to leave the group, then by all means, he should be able to leave the group. Some people don't like that I'm saying that, but I'm just telling you, if it's better for his mental health that he needs to leave the group, then I think that's what needs to happen. That's not me telling him what he needs to do. That's not me saying that he should just indefinitely leave. If, I said if, big if, because I don't know, he might just be blowing off steam. But at the same time, these messages are to be taken seriously, period. There's another little issue that I had. The viewer had stated that the person who leaked the messages from the app that he was sending the messages on, they said that their intention, they did what they did because they were concerned about Eddie. Do I know that? No. I don't know how they know that. That's just what they told me. I don't know where they got it from. If they provide that information, that would be great. And listen, guys, I always tell you guys, and I probably should tell you a little bit more. If you have any information that I probably missed or left out, let me know. I try to do that all the time, especially that last part. If you have any information on this that I might have missed, let me know. Because 99.9% of the time, I'm going to miss information. Not spread misinformation, but I'm going to miss some information that could be crucial to understanding what's going on. But I honestly believe that even the people that say that I don't have the full story and I should report on something I don't have the full knowledge of, they too don't have the full knowledge of. I can assume people's intentions all day long. I could say maybe possibly all day long. This happened, that happened, maybe. But I would never, ever tell you an opinionated statement and say that it is a fact, ever. And as the sender, I know that. So I try my best to give the news unbiased. And I can't be biased towards a group that I didn't even know about. I don't have a chance to be biased. I don't know them. I didn't know who n.SSign was, who Eddie was. I didn't know what n.SSign Entertainment was, or Nature, the previous group that was disbanded. I didn't know who any of these people were prior to the news. So I can't be biased for or against anyone. I just look at the information and I say, okay, this is what we have. This is what I have to go on. If you have more information, please let me know, but don't come and accuse me of doing stuff I didn't do. When you see my intentions in my heart in the video is clearly, I hope that Eddie gets well. I said that in the video. I don't know why we're even here, but I felt the need to make this video because oftentimes when I do K-News, every now and then, if there's someone who has a bias towards a group or a member, they will come and tell me don't be biased. When clearly, of course, they are telling me this because they have a bias. I don't. Say, for example, Min-Hee-Jin. I have a bias against Min-Hee-Jin, but I had a bias against her because I looked at all of the information that we had so far and compiled it together and wrote a script and thought about it and read over the information over and over again to just make sure that I didn't have any problems or there was no issues, no contradictions or anything with what was going on. And I concluded, based on what I found, that Min-Hee-Jin is not the person to be rooting for in that situation. And yes, I believe that she's not somebody who's trustworthy, but there are people who watched my video who have the opposite opinion of her. They think that she is trustworthy and that the media is just spreading a bunch of misinformation, which I do understand that oftentimes they do. However, a lot of it is speculative, and it's speculative based on maybe someone reported this. You know, you'll read stuff where it says it was reported that such and such and such, alleged, you know, which I trust that a lot more than saying that it's absolutely factual. It's alleged, and a lot of the news outlets do say that. So I'm not saying that they never get it wrong, because sometimes they do. In fact, oftentimes they do, which is why I cross-reference things and I look deeper into stuff. So I don't take just the media and what they say, but I will say that the narrative that the media is always putting out misinformation, is a bit much when it comes to K News. I'm not talking about our politics in the US. I'm just saying K News. I don't think that's a factual statement to make that all of it is BS, all of it's baloney, all of it's misinformation. That's a bit of a stretch to me. With news publications, oftentimes you have to chew up the meat and spit out the bones and then find the truth. My point is, based on everything that I researched and found out, my opinion of her is I don't trust her. Does not mean that it's a fact that she's this or that, the other. I believe based on what I found, she actually is not trustworthy. Again, your opinion that's against mine does not mean that I can go out and tell you that you're spreading misinformation. That's your opinion that she's trustworthy. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you and tell you that you're spreading false information by stating your opinion, simply stating your opinion. I'm not going to do that to y'all. Okay, you think she's okay? That's your business. That's your prerogative to feel that way. I'm not going to sit here and have an argument about how I feel you're wrong in this scenario. However, I still approached that with non-bias because not only do I not like Minhee Jin, but I don't really like K-pop companies either. So I don't care about HYBE, really, or Minhee Jin. So I came at that totally unbiased. It's just that it appeared as though I was biased. Apparently I was so biased against Minhee Jin that someone accidentally mistook, which I don't know how, but someone mistook me for being paid by Minhee Jin. I said, how in the world could I be paid by someone to talk about how I don't trust them? Like, why would she pay me to talk about how I don't trust her? That's a bad investment, but they were confused about like what the trajectory of the videos were. I don't know how, but they were confused. And so I kind of tried to clarify it as best as I could in the comments, and we came to a mutual understanding. No harm, no foul. But I normally just take this stuff lightly and brush it off and everything. Or sometimes if someone is really like trying to grill me and tell me that I'm doing something that I'm not doing, I'll be like, wait a minute. Did you watch the whole video? Did you pay attention? Because a lot of times it's because people aren't paying attention. One word or two spoke louder than the entire sentence in context, and they hyper focused on those few words and was like, this guy is this, that, and the other. It is what it is. But yes, I hope I did a good job of making my intentions clear in this video. I don't report on stuff because it's the juiciest news in the world. I report on it because it's important. I report on it because there's something deeper going on. It has a bigger impact as a whole on K-pop, the industry, the idols, everything. That's why I do what I do. That's why I report on certain things and not everything. I try to report on dating scandals because dating scandals, it shouldn't even be a such thing as dating scandals. It's only a dating scandal if someone is dating two people at once, basically having an affair, right? A dating affair. I get that, but if you're just dating someone and it's just one person and people call it a dating scandal because technically you're not supposed to be dating anyone if you are being marketed as a person whose only love interest is the fans. So yes, I focus on these types of news because it's important and I call it out. That's what I do. It's what I've done. So please understand my intentions in my heart. Please. I don't want to have to do this all the time, and I'm not going to do this all the time. So this is a one and done thing. Next time people misunderstand me, I'm just going to be like, whatever. I'm just going to choose to let it roll off my back like rain and move on because I don't have time to do all this. And it is my birthday week. So I'm going to take this week and reflect on my 32 years of life as I enter into the ripe young age of 33. And I say the ripe young age with a sigh. Okay. Of course I'm joking. I'm still young. Yeah. My bones crack a little bit more often than they did when I was in my 20s. But that said, yeah, I'm done talking. I got a lot to edit now. I said this was going to be a short video. This was really not that short, but it is what it is. I will edit this and this will be my video for the week. Yes, I'm still going to do the Dio Beckham thing. Just give me some time. There's a lot of other news coming out, a lot of things that I want to report on and talk about as well. So I will do that. But yes, in the meantime, I will catch you guys in the next video. Love you guys. See you next time when I'm 33. Yay. Oh, and by the way, I was going to do a live stream on Wednesday, but Wednesday is my birthday, so I will be gone. I will probably do a live stream either on Thursday or Friday. We can have a happy birthday Taemin live stream. I'll see you guys in the next video. I've talked too much. Love you guys. Peace. Bye-bye.